And just like that, we're in the new era of Nintendo, new consoles in the horizon. All these rumors and speculations that came out seem to be mostly correct. And yet, for some reason, a lot of people are not that happy. And I kind of just wanted to talk about it real quick because I'm not really getting as to why. Well, I guess there's some things I can understand. So basically, the Switch 2 is just a better Switch. And for a lot of people, that just wasn't enough. And I think the reason behind that is because every single Nintendo console that's come out has had some kind of whimsical thing to it, right? So like the Wii, right, with the motion controls, the Wii U with the gamepad, and then the Switch being able to like play it on the go or play it on your TV. And I think when the Switch 2 was announced, which was just a few days ago or a week ago at this point, I'm not sure, a lot of people were just kind of like, oh, that's it. And some were even upset that Nintendo's not going back to their roots and making a console that's just super out there. And I get it. Nintendo, like they really try to innovate every single time. The DS to the 3DS, the Game Boy Advance to the DS itself, same thing, right? Like I mentioned, the Wii to Wii U and Wii U to Switch. And this time, yeah, I guess you could say it is kind of boring. That Nintendo Switch 2 is just a better Switch. But I think it's the right steps for Nintendo. Because I don't know if you guys remember, but a long time ago, every time Nintendo revealed a console like the Wii U or even the Switch, people were upset. People were like, damn, like why can't they just do the simplest things? They're trying to go too hard. And sometimes they were right. It did not work out. The Wii did, but the Wii U did not, right? The Wii U was a horrendous failure for Nintendo. But then the Switch is amazing. It's one of the best selling consoles of all time. So I get it. I get that we want innovation with our consoles, specifically from Nintendo. Most people don't give this heat to Microsoft or Sony. Whenever they add that number 4 or 5 or 6 to the PlayStation name, that's more than enough for people. And for Xbox, I'm not really sure what their plans are with the original Xbox 360 One and then Series. The names are really weird, but again, people are just overall happy that, oh, it's a stronger Xbox. Cool. But for Nintendo, for some reason, it's like half and half. Some people are really excited for just an overall stronger system, but I feel like most people are looking forward to like that new innovation that Nintendo brings to their consoles, which is fair. That's completely fair. I mean, think of everything you've played from Nintendo. Has any of it been ever the same? You know, like, would you say playing your Wii U is almost exactly the same as playing your Wii? I guess sometimes, yeah, if you play games that use the motion controllers on your Wii U, but 9 out of 10 times, the Wii U is a very, very unique experience, and the Wii is its own experience, you know? And then the Switch, I mean, goodness gracious, that commercial that came out where it just showed you like, hey, you can play your console on the go, and at rooftop parties for some reason. That blew the minds of many. But I think what Nintendo's doing with the Switch 2, which is just showing the console and saying like, hey, it's going to be a better Switch, I think that's the best thing for them to do with this console. I know a lot of people are probably not going to agree with that. I know there is a lot of people that are not going to agree with that, because if you go online, the discourse is just so mixed. And I'm scratching my head because I truly thought we were all on board that for this specific generation, the one coming up for Nintendo, we just wanted a better Switch. That's it. We just wanted a better Switch. The Switch is literally gold. I love my Switch. I have so many physical games for the Switch. I think I'm at almost like 200. We're in year 7 of the Switch's life. And yeah, now I'm at the point where like I don't really buy third-party games or much games on my Switch unless it's from Nintendo, like a first-party game, because it's showing its age really bad. I mean, the Switch when it launched was already outdated, but now in year 7, year 8, we can see it's bad. it's bad. It's not as strong as it should have been in the first place, but it's okay, right? Like we lasted this long, and now with the new Switch, we just want it to be a better Switch. At least I do, right? Because it makes the most sense. Why would they switch it up, no pun intended, too much when this is like their most successful console ever? If you guys remember back when the Wii came out, the Wii was like the hardest console to buy. Like you couldn't buy a Wii, I think, for like a year straight, maybe even more. And the Wii, I think, launched at like $250, right, back in the day. And yet the Nintendo Switch has outsold the Wii, I think by like 40 million consoles at this point, maybe even more. And that alone lets Nintendo know, like, we have something here. We have something like really special. And that's what happened, right, with the Wii going to the Wii U. They're like, hey, we want to keep that Wii branding because the Wii has sold over 100 million consoles and we want to keep the ball rolling. So they made the Wii U. But that unfortunately failed because, well, the system looked exactly the same, which the Switch and Switch 2 do as well. But that gamepad was so confusing to many. And it's a story as old as time. How many people do you know to this day still don't know the difference between a Wii and a Wii U? You know, like, most people thought it was just a gamepad that you could buy at GameStop and some games will utilize it, not realizing that it was a whole new console overall. So with the Switch, I think it was smart for them to just say, hey, we had a Switch, now we have a Switch 2. And that's it. That is literally it. And it's literally how it sounds like. It is the sequel to one of our best consoles of all time. And expect sequel type things, right? A bigger budget, a bigger, better launch titles, more power, and some new features here and there. But some people really wanted them to just go with something new. And I get it. Again, we all grew up with Nintendo consoles and systems and handhelds that innovate every single time. I will never forget the first time I played the DS. I couldn't believe my mind. And the DS came out before like smartphones were really big, right? So to have two screens and one of them being a touch screen and play games that way, it was like the future. We were in the future. And same thing with the Wii. I'll never forget playing the Wii for the first time. My best friend got it for Christmas. He hit me up and I went over to his house and we were playing Wii Sports and we were both just like, we were blown away. We couldn't believe what we were like witnessing. We didn't think about the graphics. We didn't think about any of that stuff. We just thought about the innovation that Nintendo brought with that console. But now, in 2025, I don't know how much more we can innovate when it comes to our consoles. Like, what else can they do, right? Like, VR is a mixed bag, right? And that was supposed to be the final frontier. That was supposed to be like the end game. But we're there in some cases, right? With the PSVR 2, with the MetaQuest, I think that's what it's called. I can't remember. But not a lot of people play those things because, you know, they're just not convenient, they're not as comfortable, and they're not, believe it or not, as immersive as some other games like that you can play on your couch or on your PC. So at this point, what else can Nintendo do but make just a better console than the one that, again, is their best-selling console of all time? And I completely agree with that. And I think one thing people are forgetting is that Nintendo has a statistic, right? I don't know if people realize this, but they have a statistic. And it's a really, really weird one. And it's one that if you believe in superstition, it's scary. It's a scary statistic because basically the N64, right? It sold over 30 million units, which is just okay. It was nothing compared to the PS1, but for Nintendo, it was just okay. Most people consider it a failure, but it was okay. Going from the N64 to the GameCube then was worse. They literally said, you know what? We're going to make a stronger overall system. We want to make the best system ever. But they didn't innovate when it comes to like having the DVD player. Also, their discs were really weird. And they just had issues going to the GameCube era. And it showed. So from going to the N64, which was a moderate success, again, some might even say a failure, to the GameCube, which is just a huge failure. So we got up, going down. Then from the GameCube going to the Wii, we have the most successful Nintendo console at the time, right? Selling over 100 million units. And again, it was the hardest system to get. I would never forget getting the Wii when I was a kid. It was impossible. And now we were at a high again. So again, we went up, down, and up. And then we go down for the next console, which was the Wii U, which is, I believe, top 3, if not top 2, worst selling consoles in Nintendo's history. Literally everyone thought they were done. Everyone was saying, hey, they should just be a third-party developer, put those Mario games on better consoles, better hardware. And then from the Wii U, we go right back up with the Nintendo Switch, which is, again, in my opinion, the best console they've ever made, ever. It is the most innovative console, and it's such a simple idea, right? You can play it on the go or you can play it at home. That was probably the best thing that could have happened to Nintendo, like literally. The Switch brought so many people back. Because think about that. The Wii U, the console before the Switch, sold maybe 10 to 13 million units. And the Switch 2 right now is, I believe, at 150 million. Like, they got everybody to come back. So now that everyone's here, everyone's at the party, why would they say go home? Let's keep the party rolling. Let's make a console that's better, that's stronger, that looks more attractive, that can handle more things. And I don't blame them for that. People are upset because the rumors were true, and everything that was announced in those rumors or leaked in those rumors ended up being real. And it's weird because, again, before the Switch 2 was unveiled, everyone was excited for what the rumors were saying. Now that the Switch 2 is out, or not out, but revealed, people are upset that the rumors were mostly correct. And it's so weird. It's like, guys, we have to decide on one thing. We can't just keep flip-flopping over the other. And I just feel like it's hard for people to be happy for certain things. And I get it. I understand. We want innovation from Nintendo. But let's leave that for the games. Let's leave that for the accessories and stuff like that. Let's not do it with the main console, because imagine a world where Nintendo fails and they do become a third-party developer. I'd be pretty bummed. I really love getting Nintendo systems and handhelds and all that good stuff. It's literally like part of gaming, it's at this point. Everybody I know has had a Nintendo system at some point in their lives, even those who are diehard Microsoft or Sony fans. So I'm looking forward to the Switch 2 and what exactly they're bringing to the table. I want to see how these new games look. I hope the games run better, because I'm not gonna lie to you, a lot of Switch games run like ass, complete and utter ass, and I just don't want that anymore for my Nintendo games and even my third-party games that I want to play on the go. So I truly think this was the right move. Okay, and another thing I want to mention briefly is Donkey Kong. There has been such a big discourse as to like what they did to Donkey Kong, and it is the funniest thing ever. Like, some people are completely fine with it, and some are like so upset. And I truly think like it's okay. I don't think this is gonna be how Donkey Kong looks like for the rest of his career. I hope not. Like, if you guys look at my shirt right here, I'm a huge Donkey Kong fan. I bought the freaking HD remaster that everyone was saying not to buy because it's a ripoff. By the way, if you've never played it, it's so much fun. It's a lot of fun. Really hard, really challenging. I'm almost done with it, but it's been a nightmare. But yes, I think we should chill out with that one too. Like, in my opinion, I think, come on guys, let's give Nintendo the benefit of the doubt. It doesn't look terrible either. It's trust me, Rare's Donkey Kong will always be my Donkey Kong. It is a Donkey Kong I grew up with. I'm a 90s kid, so I grew up with Donkey Kong 64. I grew up with all the new the Rare titles, the country titles. I get it. Like, changing up Donkey Kong is like really weird, especially now, but they kind of did it with Mario and Mario Wonder, and Nintendo is trying to go again to a different lane when it comes to their IPs. I'm curious to see who else gets a revamp when it comes to their looks and stuff like that. But again, I kind of trust Nintendo when it comes to their games. Their consoles was the one thing that I was worried about. I don't know, are they gonna take a big swing again and alienate all the people that are on board with them? And that's why I'm kind of relieved that the Switch 2 is what it is. But for their games, I've never questioned Nintendo games. There are some games that need some TLC, like Pokemon, for example. But that's not only on Nintendo. That's obviously Game Freak. That I don't know. They know their games print money and they just don't care at this point. But I hope with the Switch 2 now that it's going to be a more powerful system, they utilize that and take advantage of it. Another thing too that I want to mention is like the rumor that the Switch 2 is going to be as powerful as a PS4 Pro. And again, something that people are just really, really upset about. But I just want to say, guys, play Uncharted 4 on a PS4 Pro. Play The Last of Us. Tell me which games from Nintendo look as good as those games. If this is what the Switch 2 is going to look like, I think I'm going to be okay. And I think you guys are going to be okay too. Imagine a Zelda game or a Mario game with that fidelity, with those graphical fidelities. I think, again, you gotta trust Nintendo. A lot of Switch games look amazing, especially first-party games. The Nintendo literally squeezed orange juice out of a rock. I think that's the saying. I could be completely wrong, but the Switch is like so not powerful at all. But there's games like Luigi's Mansion 3, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate that look just as good as PS4, PS5 games. So the fact that you're going to have more power to play with, I'm not too concerned about how those games are going to look. But that's just me. And that's kind of my TED Talk for today. I just felt like talking about it for a little bit. I wasn't gonna make a video about the Nintendo Switch 2. I kind of wanted to wait until that direct that happens, I think in April, but I just felt like everybody was really like talking about it. My friend group has also been super mixed about it. Some are upset, some are happy, and every time I go on Discord, I'm like, guys, let's take it easy. So I just wanted to make a video to discuss like, hey, let's give Nintendo a chance. Let's let them cook. And if the console's terrible, I'll make a video about that saying like, hey, I was wrong. This shit is ass. But we're not there yet. Let's see what April brings us. Let's see what the future brings us. I'm so excited for the Switch 2. This channel, by the way, is going to cover anything revolving like first party games and console reveals and all that good stuff. But I'm just excited for the future of not just the Switch 2, but this channel with the Switch 2. I want to grow up alongside the Switch 2, if that makes sense. But anyways, thank you so much for watching the video. If you watched it, if you made it this far into the video, please subscribe or give the video a like or put a comment down there. I also, before I end the video, I just want to say thank you for those who have been watching and have made it to this point. We are almost at 60 subscribers. Our viewership is like averaging 100. I've never expected any of this making YouTube content, and I am just so grateful and humbled. So thank you so much for those who are watching the videos. It just means a lot to me. This is something I just like love doing. It's like a nice hobby to have. But just, I'm not joking when I say in my bio, I'm just trying to make friends out of it and have discussions with people who are interested in things that I'm interested in. So the fact there's a few of you that are and are willing to say hi and talk to me about this kind of stuff means the world to me. So thank you so much. But anyways, I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.